For the past 5 years of selling on Amazon, I have seen the highs of incredible sales, but I've also seen the lows of barely breaking even. In fact, I lost $8,000 with my first ever product launch. And the one thing that I can tell you is that these old methods that used to be wildly successful don't work anymore. And from what I see is that a lot of these gurus out there are conveniently not telling you that. Because Amazon FBA transparently can be wildly profitable if done right, but it can also be a financial drain if you're not aware of the risks and the hidden challenges. When I first started, I was lured into these Amazon sellers that were turning small 4-figure investments into 6 figures. Especially with this FBA boom, a lot of the gurus out there say that you can start with as little as $1,000. So I thought to myself, of course, number one, that's not a lot of money. And number two, that means there's not a lot of risk. I can do it as well. So I jumped in, chose products that I thought would sell, and just waited for the magic to happen. Like I said, my first product, I lost $8,000. This is a mixture of doing things wrong, but it was mostly due to the opportunity cost of doing things wrong. And at that point, I realized that there's way more to it than these gurus had sold me on. Now, despite these challenges, I've had my share of success. And later in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I recovered from that first L. FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. What this essentially means is they do all of the fulfillment for you and everything that's a part of that process. We're talking shipping, we're talking handling, we're talking order processing, we're talking returns, and they even deal with most of the customer service for you. You ship your product into Amazon and let Amazon do the work for you. Sounds easy, right? And you know what? To be honest, it is simple, but trust me when I say this, that is only half of it, because the real work starts when you actually get started. As soon as you make that mental decision that you want to start building your Amazon FBA business. Now, it can be costly, it can be timely, and transparently, it can be extremely frustrating in today's market specifically. And there are so many ways to succeed, but there are so many other ways to fail. Now, this is what I wish I knew as a beginner. Having mentored over 1,000 people, one of the biggest mistakes that I have seen for those who succeed versus fail is having a good strategy. Now, I know that's broad, but the reason why this is so important is because it's no longer about just having a product that can sell. There's so much more to that, and that's where the strategy comes into play from different areas that you can pull from. And what I mean by strategy is you need a strategy for literally everything. We're talking a deep understanding to your logistical and supply chain, but most importantly, we're talking the strategy for you to stay patient and for you to stay resilient, because it's not going to be easy when you first start. Without a solid strategy, a strategy that truly connects in all areas of your business, you are setting yourself up to be extremely frustrated, and that's the last thing that you want, especially if you're a first-time entrepreneur. And quite frankly, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're likely going to underprice your products, you're gonna use outdated marketing tactics that don't even work anymore, or you're gonna stumble across logistical nightmares that easily could have been avoided. And this is why it's so crucial for you to have a plan in place for every step of the process. But most importantly, for you to adapt to all of these market changes that are happening. But no matter how much that market fluctuates, no matter how much you need to adapt, this is one strategy that works almost every single time. And in my opinion, it's one of the most important things that you need to understand in order to succeed on Amazon in 2024. And what this means is having something that helps differentiate your brand, let alone your products, against the competitors in this market. Now, if you want to stand out, here's an example. These right here are our modern performance sleep bath bombs. Now, bath bombs, as you can imagine, are typically these circle balls that change color. They make your skin feel weird. They change the color of your water. And to be quite frank, they're extremely feminine. We wanted to position these specifically for males, and even more specifically, males like myself. And that's why we call them performance sleep bombs. So if you think about your regular bath bombs, again, they're circle. What we've done differently here is we have made these bath bombs actually squares. So this is something that is a minute change, but allows a customer and someone purchasing this product to really just have some form of interest per se. Now, when we're talking about our packaging, again, you typically get a bag, you typically get a box with these circles that are, for the most part, shrink wrapped. We took a different approach. We're selling a monthly supply. In other words, take 1 bath per week with these, and we've literally put an insert in for each bath bomb. So much different, catches the eye. On top of that, we thought our customer were high performing males, people that most likely make a good amount of money. So we added some additional effects. You can see this foil here. You can see how this comes off. It's different, it's premium. And what this allows us to do is position ourselves to be more premium. Now that right there talks about the brand, and how we came to that conclusion was understanding who our customer is. No one on Amazon is doing anything like this. But what's even more unique is how we differentiated our product in order to stand out to our specific customer even more. So this little bath bomb right here doesn't change the color of your water, doesn't make your skin feel weird, doesn't make you smell like a flower. And it's funny, I posted a TikTok about this and someone made a comment and they said that it doesn't look like a unicorn bomb went off in your bathtub. And that's exactly what this is. As a male, I'm hesitant to use bath bombs because they just leave a lot of residue, it's a mess, and it honestly just feels girly. So we've positioned these to really just dissolve, not change the color of your water at all. And for that reason, it allows us to appeal to a specific male. But the reason why these are performance sleep bombs is because we embedded 5 different supplements that promote relaxation and helps aid your sleep. Nothing like this has been done before in the market, and that's why this is super unique. Now, the goal is not to be no anonymous seller on Amazon. It's about making your business a reliable name so that your customers keep coming back for more. And in doing so, it's not about just focusing on Amazon. It's about being vocal through all of your social channels where your target market is sitting. For us, it's Instagram and it's TikTok. We know high-performing males are looking for business motivation tips, and for that reason, we are trying to be vocal and we're sharing our story and sharing why our product can help them on all these different platforms. In my opinion, social media is something that a lot of people are sleeping on. Creating organic content with founder-facing storytelling posts is an absolute game changer. It allows your customers to be pulled into your brand, share the hardship and the successes so that they can be a part of the journey with you. That's how you build trust. Now, my friends Will and Clara have made millions of dollars, not only per year, but per month within their peak seasons, November and December, using this exact strategy. So if you're interested to see how they did this from scratch, then go ahead and click the link in the description below. This is gonna be a quick application. Our goal is really to see if we have some form of symbiotic relationship where we can actually help you at the end of the day. Now, here's what you've been waiting for. The reality of being an Amazon seller that honestly, these gurus don't tell you about. First, it's the startup costs. Starting an Amazon FBA brand costs more than $1,000, but you can get started for as little as $2,000. But even more so, brands like Modern, we're investing close to $50,000 upfront in order to grow and build this brand fast. This really depends on who you are. $2,000 is not gonna get you a lot, but if you're wanting to get your feet wet, start with 10 to 50 units to really just understand the process, then you can do that. Now, what a lot of the gurus are gonna tell you is that most of this cost is gonna be associated to inventory. And yes, a good chunk of it is, but there are so many other things that you should be aware of. Number one is your shipping costs, which I have seen, depending on the product, can be as high as 50% of the inventory cost alone. On top of that, because you're leveraging Amazon FBA's network, you have to pay them fees. They don't just do things for free, in other words. You're paying them fulfillment fees, you're paying them a commission to be on their platform in the first place. On top of that, if there's any kind of refunds, promotions, you better believe that you're gonna be paying that out of your pocket as well. Your Amazon FBA fees are typically around the 20 to 30% range, depending on the category that you're in of your selling price in specific. So keep that in mind. Now, one of the most important factors to be successful on Amazon is to be able to have a good strategy for marketing and what we talked about, branding. And you better believe there's gonna be costs associated to getting good branding and also having a good marketing strategy. Like I said before, all the gurus say that you can just ship your product into Amazon and then from there you're gonna be sitting back making money, drinking a pina colada on the beach, but that's not the reality. Without effective advertising and branding, your product will probably not even see the light of day amongst the competitors that you're competing against. Amazon transparently is a competitive platform, but there are steps that you can take in order to be a little bit more competitive than your other competitors. And because Amazon's a search engine, you need to make sure that you have the right strategy in order to get your product to the top of the rankings. That's how you become profitable. Now, another huge thing that a lot of the gurus are gonna tell you is that you can launch this business in as little as 3 months. Sometimes I've even seen people say as little as a month. And I can say that in pure confidence that is near to impossible. Even if you look at manufacturing and shipping alone, you're looking at least 2 months, if not more than that with delays. Realistically, the time that it's gonna take you to be like, hey, I wanna start an Amazon FBA business, to you going ahead and launching that will take a minimum of 6 months, if not 8 months. Because in this process, you need to research products and then validate those products to make sure that they're gonna do well. You're gonna need to differentiate them. You're gonna need to source suppliers and therefore sample products from those suppliers so that you can choose one. And then from there, you gotta prepare all of the strategies that we've been talking about when it pertains to branding, then your listing, and then the marketing strategy for you to take over the world on Amazon. Now, as an experienced seller, it doesn't take me any more than 6 hours per week to manage my stores. But when you first get started, a lot of the things that you're gonna be learning are brand new, and therefore there will be a curve where you're gonna feel like things just aren't making sense. So for that reason, depending on your ability to learn, this could take up to 20 hours a week. And that's just you going through the motions. But over time, and as you become an experienced seller like myself, trust me, it will decrease and you're gonna be able to do these things like it's second nature. Running your Amazon FBA business is like your daily routine. Just think about when you wake up, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you go downstairs, you get a coffee, and then you start your day. That's routine, it's second nature to you. Running your Amazon FBA business is gonna be the exact same thing. You'll be in the mindset of always monitoring your inventory, making sure that things are going well. You're gonna be dealing with your customer inquiries, putting in inventory orders, optimizing your listing in order to increase sales. All of these small things will be nature to you over time. And eventually when you do get it going, I'm never gonna say that this business is fully passive, but because we're dealing with the FBA infrastructure, there's a lot of things that are gonna be fairly hands-off for you. And if you're smart, you'd hire someone in the Philippines for $2 to $3 an hour to manage a lot of the minute tasks that you don't need to. So if anything, you could be putting in as little as 2 hours per week to manage a business that could be bringing in 6 figures for you. Now, just like any business, Amazon requires hard work and dedication. So make sure that you understand what you're really getting into before you jump in. Because in my experience, knowing both the challenges, but also the potential rewards is key. And remember, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You are truly building a business just like any other business in the world. And once I figured this out, I went from losing $8,000 on my first product launch to making multi-millions of dollars on Amazon. So now that you know the challenges, the misconceptions, and what these gurus aren't telling you about starting an Amazon FBA business, be sure to check out the video on the screen. This is a video where I break down how to find profitable products. This is the first step to you starting this business.